So we moved to Saluda, North Carolina, and we have a couple problems with the landlord right off the bat. The biggest one is they advertised the house as a three bedroom, 2 bath with 3 acres with a private swimming pond and a private fishing pond. And it's true, they're nearby, but they're not ours. They're not for us to use. It's somebody else's property. And she kept telling us, like, there's a trail that goes straight down to the ponds and you can just go. Oh, the kids used to go all the time. This, that, and the other. Well, that private pond is private property of somebody else's. And the trail that she's talking about that her kids made trespasses through everybody's property to get there. So I don't even have that. That's just one of it. And then they haven't even looked at the house since they moved out. Basically, here's what happened. I don't have good credit. There's no way I would have gotten this house any other way. I'm just the unfortunate one that gets to deal with these landlords now. So they just bought a house, right? And in order for them to move into the new house, they had to have a lease agreement signed for the house that they currently are in. So that's how their loan worked. It was something to do with they had to have a signed lease before they could sign papers and complete the sale of their home. So this is all fine and dandy. We needed a house, so that worked. So we went ahead in like May, we gave them security deposit and first month's rent. Just boom, right off the bat. Actually, we gave that to them long before, like a month before. But either way, we move in on the 1st, and that's the last I see of them. Nothing. But really, with all the stress that we've got going on, and me knowing what the situation is, I don't want to screw with them. I'm not going to fucking try to piss them off off the bat. Excuse my language, people. I'm not going to try to piss them off. So, let's move on. As I'm living there, I start noticing that I'm having trouble making rent. I'm having trouble finding work, really is what it is. But I finally found work, and we're doing what we can. And every time we're late on rent, we let her know. Like, we let her know for sure. Hey, we're not going to have it. On this day, you'll have this much. On this day, you'll have this much. It's never the next month. It is always the month that it's due. I'm sorry it's late, but we also attach our late fee. It's part of the deal. That's how it goes. Well, they want us out of there because he's made several comments and several threats over the last 5 months. I think it's time we need to look for somewhere else to be. I think it's time this, and I think this and this. I'm losing faith in humanity, people. So, with dealing with that, here's where everything gets compoundingly worse. Now I want to move. Now I have to move. So I am on my way to work one day. I work at the Dollar General. And while I'm out on my way to work, I see a bus like whipping it down this 25-mile-an-hour road like she's in a Honda racing, all right? Or like the bus is on fire, something, I don't know. But I pull out behind her and I realize, whoa, I got to chase this woman down on a 25-mile-an-hour road in order to get this on my dash cam. And that's exactly what I do. I chased her down, and I got it. And I called the police department, and then I hung up. Like, I started dialing the police department, 911, and then I said, no. Because every time I've called 911, it has been a fiasco. The last time I called 911, she said, it was actually ridiculous. She's like, do you realize you called the Columbus Police Department? I'm like, lady, I called 911. It connected me to you. But anyway, so instead, I because I've tried to be a known figure in town, we've tried to get ourselves introduced to this community because we want to open this store. We want to open this nootropic mushroom store. So I'm trying to be nice to everybody I can. And by working at the Dollar General, they throw out a lot of stuff. So we got all of that. And we take all of it to the pop-up pantry. I take like snacks and stuff to the school, to the fire department, the police department, just the senior center, anywhere where they can use it. It's just, I like doing that. Well, that's what I was doing that morning. I was on my way to go get some candy. It was getting close to Halloween for that purpose. I noticed the bus. So, like I was saying, I know the police department. I know some of the guys there. And I know one in particular. And he's a really good guy. He goes out of his way for so many people. He's bought so many people dinner that were just hungry and homeless. But nevertheless, I tell him what's going on. And he says he's not on duty right now. Go ahead and just call the school board. Because I told him in a text message, dude, I don't know if I should call your department. I don't want to make any more enemies. I don't want to make any enemies in this town, is what I said. And he said, just call the school board. Well, I called the school and I reported it per the advice of the police officer. I told the SRO and the principal what I saw, what I had on dash cam. Now I'm a CDL driver. I've been driving a long time and I have 0 accidents. I have one ticket, and it was for being in the far left-hand lane. But nevertheless, I'm a good driver. And what I saw was awful. And I thought to myself, if they review that, they're gonna fire her. Why? Because this isn't a, hey, that bus is speeding, it's just kind of, no, this is flat out, wow, holy crap, did you see that bus kind of stuff. And if you review that, she's fired. So I made one comment that maybe I shouldn't have. If need be, I'd drive for you guys if she gets fired or disciplined. That comment is going to haunt me for a long time. Because I was at work 2 weeks later, and here's that bus driver, and she's just yelling at me, screaming about how I'm trying to steal her job, and this, that, and the other. Well, I couldn't believe they told her that where I was and where I worked. Like, wow, people, you told her that. And I know it was you. It was either the principal or the SRO. And I know it was. You know why? Because I didn't offer to drive for anybody else, to anybody else. It was just those two. And that's crazy. That's crazy that you would tell the bus driver. So rightfully so, I'm upset about it. And then the next day, I get a death threat on the voicemail at my work. So what do? I do what anybody would do. I talk to the police. And they tell me that they're going to have to go do this. They'll let the person know that I'm making a no contact. I just want it to end. I don't want to have to deal with contact orders and this, that, and the other. Just make it go away. But they're not letting me do that. And I started thinking about it. What if this person comes after me? What if they really legitimately come after me? I mean, I'm sure the statistics are like 99.8% are BS, but what if this is 0.2? And if you hear the video or the audio of that voicemail, this person ain't right. They're off their rocker. So I'm mad now. I just moved to a new place. And you guys just put me at risk again. And that's bullcrap. So, I started looking for lawyers. Well, I learned something. You have rights in this country. You do. You have rights. But you better have money if you want to defend them. Because I tried to do a pro se. No. That's a horrible idea. The letter I got basically is well, first of all, let me start with what I sent him. That they leaked my information, that I should have been protected under statute 7B, and that's harm. And I'm mad about it. I didn't put that in the letter, obviously, but I want something done, something right done. I want something properly done. So I wanted to start something called the Long Guardians. I don't think I said his name, and I probably should have by now, but Nick Long is an important name for me. I'm starting up Along Came a Fungi. Again, throwing his long in there for whatever reason, but he's a part of it. And then the Long Guardians. The Long Guardians is basically a protection initiative. It's basically an NPO that's charged with helping people who have become victims and are at risk because of retaliation due to putting themselves out there on behalf of somebody else. Basically, for people like me, I didn't have any interest in that bus. I didn't have any family members that got hit by the bus. I didn't have any kids out on the bus. I didn't know anybody who had kids on the bus. I just saw something wrong and I did the right thing and I turned them in. And there's no protection for me. So let's say I get a protection order. Well, that's about as useless as saying guns aren't allowed in Greenville. Okay, so your guns aren't allowed in Greenville. Obviously, that's not the law, but if it were, the only ones that are going to obey that are law-abiding citizens. So what good's a protection order? If they're going to threaten, which is against the law, what is a law going to do to keep them away? My logic is sound. I think it makes sense. Other than document it for court. Here we go. Back to court. Back to this legal stuff. So, I have to do something about this. I sent a settlement letter demanding settlement because they're going to help me start the Long Guardians. It's going to be my protection initiative. It's also going to be what we use to help people that are directly being threatened. Not long term. This is a short term security detail, if you will. So you have somebody in my situation. I need to figure it out. I need to get the paperwork in line. I need to get moved. I need to whatever it may be. Well, for that time period, we'll have guardians come to your house. And what is their job? Their job isn't to confront everybody that comes to the house. No. We don't confront. Our job is to keep you safe. So we just make sure that in the event that somebody comes and wants to argue, you're inside and you're safe. None of our people will be out there. And when they want to yell and argue, we're going to come inside with you and we're going to close the door. Then when they want to bust in the door, we're going to do what's necessary to keep you safe. That's it. We don't want to fight with anybody. We just want to keep people safe. And that school's going to pay for it. They should pay for it. Especially after what happened. Because this is how I see it, people. And I don't know how you're going to see it, but this is how I see it. Hopefully the law sees it the same way. I requested $75,000 because that's the average number for a case like this where this has happened. And this has happened way too many times. $15,000 of it was going to go to the Long Guardians to help start that, and so I could pay the people that are actually putting their life on the line for somebody they don't know. A nonprofit that pays its guardians to protect people that are doing the right thing. I'd give money to it, but I don't have money. So I sent that letter, and I got a reply back from Todd Murphy saying that I'm not covered under Statute 7B. And therefore I'm not afforded, basically I don't get confidentiality under that, and he'll talk to the driver. The threat that I got was specifically to that. If anything else happens, or if she gets fired, it's on, oh yeah, I'll find out. Mr. Todd Murphy, you didn't even ask for any of my evidence. You didn't ask me a single question. You didn't ask how fast the bus was going. You didn't ask what made me want to call it in. You didn't ask for my dash cam video. You didn't ask what the threat was. You didn't ask when it happened. And you didn't ask if I was okay. You obviously don't care, like the top of your letter says, about your community or its children. And I'm going to question right now, that sounds like dereliction of duty for a superintendent to completely write me off like that. So now I'm looking for a lawyer. I'm not going to try to write you any more letters. I'm not negotiating. And I'm doubling it, obviously. But I know the cap's 1 million. I can promise you now, if I have to see the inside of a courtroom, that's the number I'm going for. But I can't believe I have to fight to keep myself safe from a school. It doesn't make sense. But that's my story, people. I hope I can find faith in humanity because I'm using the right energy to do the right thing. Hopefully I can make this move forward.